It looks like we're going to have a new property to buy coming in the Grand Theft Auto Online Summer 2022 DLC update, and that's pretty exciting. What's going on, guys? My name is Ross, or Mr. Boss for the win, and yeah, it looks like we're going to be able to purchase a new property interior in GTA Online coming up in the next DLC. Let's go ahead and dive into it today because it's a property I think you guys are going to be very excited about. This comes from Rockstar Games Insider Tez Funds 2, who posted this. Since the release of Executives and Other Criminals, any new interior introduced is labeled as a simple interior. Since then, all the new properties we received throughout the years were labeled the same. The recipe for new DLCs tends to always include a new simple interior. It's pretty much expected we would receive a new one within this coming summer update. Since Los Santos Summer Special's arrival, the free mode creator, as an internal tool, came into the scene and became a standard tool for the designers, as it's utilized for pretty much anything free mode related. Even the HSW time trial on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S was made via the free mode creator. The same applies to the new tutorial that came with the career builder. We should expect the same with the upcoming update, but what will those new free mode events revolve around is unknown. If we are to expect the next DLC to introduce us to Michael, we could potentially own a property at Richard's Majestic Studio, and maybe have Rosalia star in a movie or something. Just like we saw the changes occurring to Franklin's house, maybe we could see the same apply to Michael's house. All right, so I'm going to jump around a little bit, but basically starting at the top, every update since Executives and Other Criminals has added a new interior. I mean, just think of the DLCs we've received in the past. Import-Export, Finance and Felony, the Bikers update, the Gun Running DLC, the Diamond Casino and Resort. I could go on and on. They're all adding new interiors. So it's very likely that we're going to get one here. Even the most recent ones with the arcade and the agency. We've gotten a lot of interiors recently. So it's very likely we're going to see a new one. And it could be a property at Richard's Majestic Studio. And the reason for that is a lot of the speculation and rumors is that the next DLC is going to introduce us to Michael DeSanta. For a handful of reasons that we've talked about in previous videos. Number one, Michael was hinted at returning in Grand Theft Auto Online by Franklin in the Contract DLC on multiple occasions. And number two, we already have close associates to Michael that are in the game, like Lester and even his own son, Jimmy, that was cleaning up the arcade.
Man, shit, I know one of the producers around here. I hope his ass ain't at work today.
When my Uncle Les said that this job was in games, I was thinking more of a esports league, you know, like packed out stadiums and global streaming rights and professional athletes that make millions of dollars, and they look like me, not a museum. I mean, some of these games are older than I am.
Okay, do you want the gig or not? There's a bunch of kids who chopped their arms off, but the boss told me I had to give it to you.
No, I do. I want it. Just tell me what to do.
Do you know how to use a broom?
Wendy!
Hey.
Hey, how's he doing? Actually, don't tell me. Jimmy, everyone has to start somewhere.
I know. This is not how privilege is supposed to work.
Oh, he's a family friend. I give him a week tops. Oh, so, what do you think? We need some more cabinets, a bit of a spruce up. This way.
And there's been hints outside of the game from the voice actor and likeness of Michael DeSanta, Ned Luke, who's saying that he would love to return and even said that him and Franklin were supposed to do something going forward. Well, we obviously saw Franklin return, so Michael could definitely return. And we know that Michael is a movie producer at Richard's Majestic Studio. And Richard's Majestic Studio is pretty sprawling, as you guys know, so we could definitely have like an office or a room in there where we could be involved in the movie industry in some way, shape, or form. And he says have a star like Rosalia in a movie. Maybe that could be incorporated into a Cops and Crooks theme or something like that, which we'll actually talk about a little bit later on in the day. But this could be incredibly cool, and it would be sort of a branch off of the agency and another VIP contract. And he's saying that we could also see changes occur to Michael's house. As you guys know, there were changes to Franklin's house, how they added a car and they added like a sign on the front that said the Franklins, or the Clintons, I should say. So we know that Franklin is married. He has a family. He's married to Tanisha. His backyard had a bunch of changes that implied, kids were living there. So we could see the same thing to Michael's house too, which would be very cool. Now, working our way towards the middle, it looks like there could be more free mode events that occur in the next update too. So think of things like the HAL Special Works time trial that was made with the free mode creator. Also think of the new tutorial that came with the career builder. That was made with the free mode creator. So it does make you wonder what Rockstar has planned. I really do hope it's a really cool interior. Now, more follow-up to what the free mode creator is, because someone ended up saying the free mode creator and the mission creator are two different things, right? And he said, yes, the free mode one became a thing prior to Los Santos Summer Special, although it wouldn't represent what you have in mind. It won't be a creator mode that allows you to fluently create free mode events, because you would still have to communicate with programmers, artists, etc. Because it's only used for specific scenarios in which, say, you need props reassembled, a movie studio for supposedly a new DLC revolving around movies. Then you would need assets for that, and the creator itself wouldn't provide you with these assets. It's basically an internal tool used by designers and others to facilitate the process of level design. Rockstar likely came up with it to ease the development of Cayo Perico. If you place an NPC at a certain point and change your mind after, you could easily adjust its position. But since then, it became used for pretty much anything free mode related. As for the mission creator, by now, it would have received a ton of variables that I hardly think Rockstar would bother making a public version of it for us. There's a ton of menu bit set variables that each bit set of each variable would represent a flag reserved for a specific adversary mode. An example, this flag is used for enabling the X audio during the Y adversary mode, etc. I doubt Rockstar would allow us to enable the top-down view of Tiny Racer's adversary mode. So he just gives you an idea of the tools that Rockstar are working with here to create something like this. And it probably was introduced to help with the production of Cayo Perico. We obviously have never had a map expansion like that before, but it could very much be used for reassembling a movie studio in an upcoming DLC around movies. I mean, if we are going to be at Solomon Richards' studio, I'd say there's a pretty good chance that the studio is going to have some changes, just like there's probably going to be some changes at Michael DeSanta's house as well. And that was honestly one of the most exciting parts of the agency, is kind of tying the gap between when we left our characters in 2013 and where they are now in 2022. It's kind of like a show I'm watching recently, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are as well. It's the new Star Wars Obi-Wan show, and it really does tie the gap over the last 10 years of like what Obi-Wan was doing. I know this is getting a little bit nerdy, but it really fills in the gaps. We know that Franklin got married to Tanisha, which didn't seem like it was going to happen at the end of the story. He's got kids. He's a family man now. He's a business owner. We didn't think that was going to happen either. So it'd be nice to see what has happened to Michael over the last 10 years, what's happened to his family. Is he still with Amanda? What's Jimmy up to? What's Tracy up to? Is he still working with the government agencies like the FIB, or is he now past that? You've got to think that we would get some sort of information and the backstory on Michael, which would be very interesting to see. So I'd love to hear from you guys in those comments down below, or you can reach out to me on my Facebook page where you can send messages, photos, videos, and more. What do you think about that? Owning or renting a place at Solomon Richards Studios, working with Michael DeSanta, getting some more background on his life. I personally think that would be a fantastic update, but I'd obviously love to hear from you guys. Let me know what you're thinking about that. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Rockstar Games videos that I'll be doing here on my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.